There are 6 levels of retirement wealth in America. 6 distinct financial positions that determine whether your retirement years are defined by freedom, comfort, struggle, or genuine crisis. And the most uncomfortable truth about these 6 levels is this. The majority of Americans approaching retirement right now are sitting at level 1 or level 2 without knowing it. They believe they are at level 3 or 4. They have been telling themselves a story about their retirement readiness that the actual numbers do not support. And the longer that gap between story and reality goes unexamined, the more devastating the consequences become. Today, we are going to examine all 6 levels with complete honesty. We are going to name what each level actually feels like to live inside. And we are going to confront the hard truth about what it costs to stay at the wrong level for one more year. Where do you fall? Let us find out together. Before we reveal the 6 levels of retirement wealth, I need to address something deeply uncomfortable that affects the majority of Americans approaching retirement today. Most people have a fundamentally inaccurate picture of their own retirement financial position. Not because they are careless or dishonest with themselves, but because the way retirement wealth is typically measured, discussed, and presented in popular financial media is systematically designed to make people feel better about their position than the real numbers justify. And that false comfort is costing millions of Americans the retirement security they believe they already have. The retirement wealth illusion is built on 3 specific measurement errors that consistently inflate how financially prepared most Americans believe they are, compared to how prepared they actually are when the real numbers are examined honestly. The first measurement error is confusing gross account balance with real spendable retirement wealth. A retiree with $800,000 in a traditional 401k does not have $800,000 of retirement wealth. They have $800,000 of pre-tax retirement savings from which the federal government will extract 20 to 30% in income taxes over the withdrawal period. The real spendable value of that $800,000 traditional account is somewhere between $560,000 and $640,000, depending on their tax situation in retirement. Every dollar in a traditional retirement account is shared with the government, and most retirement planning conversations treat these accounts as if the tax liability does not exist. The second measurement error is calculating retirement readiness based on current savings balance rather than inflation-adjusted future purchasing power. A retiree who saves $1 million today and retires in 15 years needs that $1 million to be worth $1 million in 15-year dollars to maintain the purchasing power they are planning around. At 3% annual inflation, $1 million today has the purchasing power of approximately $642,000 in 15 years. The retirement that $1 million will buy in 15 years costs significantly more than the retirement $1 million buys today. Most retirement planning calculations ignore this reality entirely. The third and most dangerous measurement error is failing to account for the full cost of retirement longevity. Most Americans significantly underestimate how long their retirement will last. A healthy 65-year-old couple today has a better than 50% probability that at least one spouse will live past 90. A 25-year retirement is not a pessimistic planning assumption. It is increasingly the median outcome. The savings amount that funds a 20-year retirement comfortably will fund a 25-year retirement inadequately and a 30-year retirement in genuine financial distress. These 3 measurement errors combine to create a retirement wealth illusion that is comforting in the short term and catastrophic in the long term. The 6-level framework we are about to examine cuts through that illusion completely. The illusion is real and it is expensive. Now let us break down the 6 actual levels of retirement wealth starting at the bottom, where the financial consequences are most severe and most immediate. The bottom 2 levels of the retirement wealth framework are where the most painful and most preventable retirement suffering in America takes place every single day. These are not theoretical levels that affect other people in other circumstances. According to the most recent Federal Reserve data on American household finances, a disturbing percentage of Americans who are within 10 years of retirement age are currently living inside these two levels right now. And what makes these levels particularly devastating is not just the financial hardship they produce, it is the near impossibility of escaping them once retirement actually begins. Level 1 is the retirement crisis zone, and it is characterized by one defining financial reality. The retiree at Level 1 has essentially no retirement savings independent of Social Security and has no realistic plan to generate meaningful additional retirement income from any source. Their entire retirement financial picture depends on a Social Security check that averages approximately $1,700 per month for a single retiree, an amount that in most American markets does not cover basic housing, food, healthcare, and utilities without significant financial stress or dependence on family support. The retirement crisis is not a distant hypothetical for the Americans living inside Level 1. It is their daily reality. Every unexpected expense, a car repair, a medical bill, a home maintenance emergency, represents a genuine financial crisis because there is no reserve, no cushion, and no ability to absorb financial shocks beyond the monthly Social Security income. Medical decisions are made based on cost rather than clinical need. Housing decisions are driven by financial desperation rather than personal preference. The dignity and independence that a lifetime of work deserves is replaced by financial fragility that makes every month a careful balancing act between essential needs. The most heartbreaking truth about Level 1 is that it is frequently the result not of lifelong financial irresponsibility, but of a small number of catastrophic financial events: a job loss in the 50s, a major health crisis, a divorce, a business failure, or a caregiving responsibility that forced an early exit from the workforce, combined with a retirement savings system that provides no safety net for Americans whose working lives did not follow a straight, uninterrupted line. Level 2 is the survival trap, more financially stable than Level 1, but defined by a chronic and deeply stressful condition that financial researchers call retirement income inadequacy. The retiree at Level 2 has some retirement savings, typically between $50,000 and $150,000 combined with a Social Security benefit, that together produce a monthly income that covers essential expenses with little or no margin for anything beyond bare necessities. The survival trap is particularly cruel because it creates the illusion of adequacy without the reality of security. The bills get paid, tea lights stay on, but every discretionary expense, a grandchild's birthday gift, a minor home repair, a prescription that is not fully covered by Medicare, creates anxiety and difficult trade-offs. The retirement that was supposed to be a reward for a lifetime of work becomes instead a permanent exercise in financial constraint that slowly erodes both financial security and personal dignity. Levels 1 and 2 represent the retirement reality for too many Americans. But levels 3 and 4, where the majority of people who consider themselves financially prepared actually sit, carry their own set of serious risks that most people never see coming. Levels 3 and 4 are where the retirement wealth illusion is most dangerous, because at these levels the financial situation looks fine on the surface. The monthly income is sufficient, the retirement feels comfortable, and the retiree has every reason to believe they have done the right things and earned the right outcomes. But hiding inside levels 3 and 4 are specific financial vulnerabilities that can silently transform a comfortable retirement into a struggling one within a single decade. Vulnerabilities that the financial industry has no incentive to warn you about, and that most retirees at these levels never discover until the damage is already irreversible. Level 3 is the false security zone, and it is defined by a retirement portfolio of between $200,000 and $500,000, combined with Social Security income, that together produce a monthly cash flow that feels genuinely adequate in the early retirement years. The retiree at level 3 can cover their essential expenses, take modest vacations, help their grandchildren occasionally, and maintain a lifestyle that feels like a reasonable reward for a lifetime of work. Everything feels fine. And that feeling of being fine is precisely what makes level 3 so dangerous. The false security at level 3 is built on a foundation that has three serious structural weaknesses that gradually and then suddenly reveal themselves over the course of a long retirement. The first weakness is inflation vulnerability. A portfolio of $300,000 generating $12,000 per year in withdrawals at 4% sounds reasonable at retirement. But at 3% annual inflation, that same $12,000 has the purchasing power of approximately $7,200 in 20 years. The retiree at level 3, who does not have a robust inflation protection strategy built into their portfolio, allocation will find themselves experiencing a slow but relentless erosion of real purchasing power that transforms a comfortable early retirement into a financially constrained late retirement. The second structural weakness at level 3 is healthcare cost exposure. A portfolio of $200,000 to $500,000 is large enough to feel secure, but small enough to be genuinely threatened by a major healthcare event. A serious illness requiring extended care, a cognitive decline diagnosis requiring memory care facility placement, or even a combination of moderately serious health issues in both spouses can consume an entire level 3 portfolio within 5 to 7 years, leaving the retiree dependent entirely on Social Security and whatever family support is available for the remainder of their life. Level 4 is the comfort illusion, a retirement portfolio of $500,000 to $1 million that produces a lifestyle of genuine comfort that masks a specific and commonly overlooked set of financial risks unique to this wealth range. The retiree at level 4 lives well. They travel occasionally. They maintain their home. They help their children. They feel financially secure. And they are, but only as long as nothing goes seriously wrong, and only as long as they live approximately as long as they planned. The comfort illusion breaks down when sequence of returns risk strikes in the early retirement years, when long-term care needs exceed what Medicare covers, or when a retiree at level 4 lives 25 to 30 years rather than the 15 to 20 years they planned for. Levels 3 and 4 carry hidden dangers that most retirees at these levels have never seriously examined. But levels 5 and 6, the top of the retirement wealth framework, reveal a different and equally important set of truths about what real retirement security looks and feels like. We have spent the last 2 chapters examining the painful financial realities hiding inside the bottom 4 levels of retirement wealth. Now I want to show you the top 2 levels, not to celebrate them or to make anyone feel inadequate, but to define with complete honesty what genuine retirement security actually looks like, what it actually requires, and why the gap between where most Americans are and where genuine security begins is so much larger than the financial industry wants you to acknowledge. Because until you know exactly how large that gap is, you cannot make the decisions necessary to close it. Level 5 is the real security threshold, and it begins at a retirement portfolio of approximately $1 million to $2 million, combined with optimized Social Security benefits and possibly a pension or other guaranteed income source. The retiree at level 5 has crossed a financial threshold that fundamentally changes the nature of their retirement experience in ways that are qualitative and not merely quantitative. At level 5, the retiree has sufficient assets to cover essential expenses from guaranteed income sources, fund their desired lifestyle from portfolio withdrawals, maintain a dedicated healthcare reserve for unexpected medical costs, and still have enough growth assets invested long-term to keep pace with inflation over a 25 to 30-year retirement. The financial anxiety that defines levels 1 through 4 is largely absent at level 5, not because the retiree is immune to financial challenges, but because they have enough margin to absorb those challenges without fundamental lifestyle disruption. But even level 5 carries a specific and frequently overlooked vulnerability: the sequence of returns trap that can permanently damage a level 5 retirement portfolio if a severe market decline strikes in the first 3 to 5 years of retirement, combined with high withdrawal rates. A retiree at the lower end of level 5 with $1 million who experiences a 40% portfolio decline in year 2 of retirement, while withdrawing $60,000 annually, has permanently compromised their retirement security in ways that even a complete market recovery cannot fully repair. Level 6 is the freedom level, a retirement portfolio exceeding $2 million with multiple coordinated income streams, optimized tax positioning, and a complete retirement income architecture that generates reliable cash flow through every market condition. The retiree at level 6 has what financial planners call true retirement optionality, the ability to make every major retirement decision based entirely on personal values, family priorities, and life quality considerations rather than financial constraint. The devastating truth that this entire framework reveals is that genuine retirement security level 5 and above requires a retirement savings achievement that the majority of Americans are not currently on track to reach. The median retirement savings for Americans in their 60s is approximately $89,000. Level 5 begins at $1 million. That gap, $911,000 between the median reality and the real security threshold, is the retirement crisis hiding in plain sight across America. The gap between where most Americans are and where genuine security begins is enormous, and it is real. In the final chapter, I am going to give you the complete action plan for moving up the retirement wealth levels as aggressively and as urgently as your situation allows. You have seen the 6 levels. You have confronted the real numbers. You understand the specific financial dangers hiding inside each level, including the one you are currently in. And now comes the most important part of this entire conversation. Because understanding where you are is only valuable if it leads to specific, urgent, and decisive action to improve your position. The retirement wealth levels are not fixed destinations. They are stages on a trajectory that is still being written. And the actions you take in the next 12 months have more power to change your retirement wealth level than any single decision you have made in the previous 10 years. The brutal action plan for moving up the retirement wealth levels begins with a complete and honest financial assessment that most Americans either never complete or complete incorrectly because they use the measurement errors we identified in Chapter 1. Complete this assessment correctly, and the clarity it produces will be uncomfortable, motivating, and ultimately liberating. Calculate your real spendable retirement wealth by applying the appropriate tax adjustment to every traditional retirement account balance. A traditional 401k balance is not 100 cents on the dollar. It is 70 to 80 cents on the dollar after the tax liability that is coming is properly accounted for. Add your Roth account balances at full value. Add the present value of your projected Social Security benefits. Add any pension income at its present value equivalent. The total is your real retirement wealth, not your gross account balance. Compare that real retirement wealth number against the level thresholds we defined, not against some vague sense of whether you are doing okay against the specific numbers that define each level. If you are at level 2 when you believed you were at level 3, that is painful information. It is also the most valuable financial information you have received in years because it eliminates the false comfort that was preventing you from taking the urgent action your situation requires. The most powerful level climbing actions available to Americans who are behind their target level are ordered by their impact per dollar and per year of effort. Maximum 401k contributions, including catch-up contributions for those over 50, represent the single highest impact action available, combining tax reduction, employer match capture, and direct retirement asset accumulation in one coordinated move. For a worker over 50 contributing the full $31,000 annual limit in the 22% federal tax bracket, This single action simultaneously reduces current tax liability by approximately $6,800 while adding $31,000 to retirement assets. Roth conversion planning during lower income years creates tax-free retirement wealth that dramatically improves level 5 and 6 positioning by reducing future RMD obligations and building an income source that is invisible to Medicare, surcharge calculations, and Social Security taxation thresholds. Social Security delay strategy is the single highest guaranteed return investment available to most Americans. Every year of delay past full retirement age increases your monthly benefit by 8%, a guaranteed risk-free return that no market investment reliably matches. The retirement wealth levels are not destiny, they are a diagnosis, and every diagnosis that comes early enough is a diagnosis that can still be treated. Stop accepting the level you are in. Start building the level you deserve. If this video gave you the honest assessment of your retirement position that nobody else was willing to give you, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to this channel because every week we bring you the retirement truth that most financial content is too comfortable to deliver. Drop your current level in the comments. I want to know where you are starting from. And share this video with someone who needs to hear the truth about their retirement position before it is too late to act on it.